Welcome to the Grind to Greatness podcast, where we dive deep into the world of relentless determination, hard work, and unwavering dedication to help you unlock your full potential. We're your hosts, Jonathan and Joseph, and your mentors along this journey to greatness. Each week, we'll bring you inspiring stories, expert insights, and practical tips where we've turned our dreams into reality through sheer grit and resilience. Whether you're looking to excel in your career, improve your health and well-being, or simply level up in life, this podcast is your go-to source for strategies, motivation, and the mindset needed to achieve personal excellence. What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of The Grind to Greatness. This episode is brought to you by Facts Over Fads Nutrition. Are you tired of being bombarded by nutrition fads that promise the moon but deliver so little? It's time to step into a world of clarity and authenticity. Our nutrition philosophy provides you with reliable information to make informed nutritional choices. Our holistic approach ensures a well-rounded understanding of nutrition, focusing on sustainable practices for long-term well-being. Our new seasoned nutrition experts will guide you every step of the way. Whether you are a beginner or a health enthusiast, we're here to tailor advice to your unique needs. Receive customized nutrition plans tailored to your lifestyle, preferences, and goals. No one size fits all. We understand the importance of individualization for you. Get signed up today and ignite your health goals. Mr. Jonathan, welcome back, brother. How are you doing?
I'm doing great, man. My phrase, I'm ungratefully satisfied. How am I going to mess it up? You messed up, I'm going to mess it up, but we're going to keep this thing going. I am
gratefully unsatisfied.
Gratefully unsatisfied. Meaning I'm grateful for what I have, and unsatisfied in terms of growth, because it's always going to be constant. It's always going to be more.
I love it. I think before we were going to dive into some Q&A today, you wanted to interview me about some this or that.
Would you rather?
Would you rather?
Yeah, well, nobody wants to interview you.
Oh.
It's would you rather. I got a good one. Would you rather? So if you knew that you could win $100 million from playing the lotto today, it's not even a would you rather, it's more of just a question. Yeah. Okay. So if you knew you could win the lotto today, $100 million, would you play it?
If I could win.
If you knew you were going to win today, if you played the lotto for $100 million, would you play it? If you knew that, no doubt, all you had to do was play the game today and you would walk away with $100 million, would you play it?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah?
You're pretty much asking me if I buy a $3 lotto ticket, I'm going to make $100 million.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just a question, because, I've always thought about this because my dad plays the lotto religiously, right? He played the lotto religiously. And I always told him, I was like, dude, if you ever, win big, and I really meant it when I said it, don't tell me and don't give me none of the money. Here's why. I'm somebody who really enjoys the chase and the hunt of achieving my dreams. Mm-hmm. And if somebody was to give that to me and ruin the journey, ruin the hunt, it wouldn't taste like it should be. The whole point of you achieving your dreams and goals and aspirations is the struggle, is the pain. Mm-hmm. It's what makes whatever you're chasing worth it.
But I think, so my mindset, we're in a little bit different spot, you and I, but with being blessed with even what I have, which isn't much of anything, I like to give to others.
Yeah.
So if you were to tell me, hey, tomorrow you can wake up with $100 million, would you want to? I would say yes, because all it would do is allow me to bless others, number one, but also take whatever grind, passion, whatever I have going on, I would just 10x it.
Well, money is only gonna amplify who you are, right? Hopefully. Yeah. Well, hopefully. You won't know until you actually get it, because it's another thing to say it versus actually have it.
It was funny when I was early in the career, I used to dream of making six figures.
Everybody has until you hit it. I've made six figures for 7 years now, and the person I am now has just been amplified to the person I was before I made six figures, which was a giver. It was, I used to be able to just give my time. Yeah. And now it's like, well, now I can give time and money. Yeah. Right, I can invest in other people, or I can bless other people, or whatever the case may be. I don't know if we talked about this, but I did, in the Unconquerable group, and Cameron and I, we went for Thanksgiving. We went to Amarillo,
And we went to this small bar, which was a truck driver bar. Which is a lot of truck drivers passing through. They stop, they get some beers, they go to sleep, and they get back on the road. And the bartender honestly was like a blessing in disguise. She was just the most humble, authentic person I've ever met. And we walk in and we sit down at the bar and we order a pitcher of like, I don't know, Michelob Ultra or something. And she shakes our hand. She introduces herself. She's like, we got Thanksgiving food over there. So it's Thanksgiving night. We got Thanksgiving food over there. You guys just help yourself to it. There's turkey, blah, blah. Let me know if you want a plate. I'll heat it up for you in the microwave, whatever you need, blah, blah. And there's probably 20, 30 people in the bar. And, you know, we shoot the shit with her for probably an hour or two before we leave. And then we don't come back for 2 days. We go back 2 days later. She remembers our name. She remembers our drink order. She greets us with a hug. And she has the first round on her. First round's on me. Brings us our drink order, first round's on her. And the culture in the bar was the same type of culture. Everyone's introducing themselves. Everyone's talking to my buddy and I because they can tell we're not from around there. Yeah. And people are buying us beers and rounds and stuff. Like both times we went, people were doing this. And it was a culture that she created. So where I'm at now in life, I was like, dude, this is unheard of. I've never been treated with so much respect from a stranger, knowing that I will never come back. Knowing that I'm only there I'm just passing through. Yeah. But her authenticity was amazing. Yeah, you lose out on that in big cities. You know what I mean? Bro, we gave her $1,500. Yeah. Just, hey, I was like, what's your phone number? I'm gonna catch up to her. And fucking she gave us her phone number. I found her on Zelle and we Zelled her $1,500. And so I think, you know, going back to when I didn't have money or I wouldn't be able to do that, I would have tried to bless her some other way. Yeah. Let me clean up. How can I help you tonight? Blah, 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 whatever the case may be. And now that I have money, I can hopefully make a bigger impact and bless people that way.
Absolutely. And I feel like that's where most people get it wrong, is because you have money, you're automatically considered an asshole. Yeah. Yeah. But what they don't realize is it just amplifies who you are, just like alcohol.
Yeah, right? That's very true.
Right? It's just like alcohol. That's all it is.
I'm interested to know who you are as a drunk, but I'll go first. Because we've never been like drunk together.
We were pretty drunk.
On our first date?
Yeah.
Bro, you got drunk on our first date?
Yeah, I did get drunk. I was a little sloppy, but I
had a 2-hour drive home that night, just to let you know.
See, I felt so shitty. My wife was so pissed off at me that I sent you home, dude. She's like, what the, Jonathan? She's like, you sent him home? I was like, oh shit. I didn't even think about that. Got this big ass house.
Anyway, but you know, it's funny you say that alcohol amplifies who you are, because when I get drunk, I'm so lovey-dovey. I'm the guy who is buying everyone rounds. I'm the guy I see someone by themselves, I bring them into our group. Yeah. I'm just all inclusive. I need everyone to have a good time. I need everyone to feel heard, welcomed, appreciated. Man, I will talk a stranger's ear off when I'm drunk.
Dude. It's funny because we were both natural introverts, right? But you know, when I get drunk, it comes out. I like the extrovert Jonathan wants to talk and he'll talk your ear off, and my wife is all like, here goes Jonathan again, trapping people.
I did the same thing. I trapped a dude when we were in Amarillo. We were at a hookah bar. I was so drunk. And the dude next to me was a truck driver, and he owned his own hookah bar in California, and we were in Amarillo. Yeah. Bro, I talked this dude's ear off. I got his phone number. I was putting him in contact with people he probably didn't even want to be in contact with.
Just want to help out, bro. Let me help you out.
I literally put him in contact with 2 other truck drivers who's been in the game forever, because he was he wanted to make 6 figures. Yeah. But he wanted to kind of get more trucks underneath him and bring his boys on to drive. And so I put him in contact with 2 seasoned truck drivers. I put him in contact with someone who does weapons, because he carries a lot. Yeah. A lot of truck drivers do nowadays. So I was like, man, I got a guy who can help you with weapons. I got 2 guys who can help you with your business. Bro, I'm plugging and playing all night. My buddy's like, bro, we're just here to smoke some hookah. Like, what are you doing? That's just who I am.
I hope I'm looked at as a good drunk. I find myself. I like to think I am. I'm a giver and a talker, but anyways.
But it's also like, not only like does it amplify who you are, I think it also depends on like the environment. Like you and I were pretty drunk, but we were already talking about business. You know what I mean? So it just amplified that conversation.
Actually, that's just what I talk about in general.
24/7.
Yeah, well, especially when I'm drunk, I just want to dream, get more lost in my dream and start talking and start maneuvering and start, you know, when when you start talking to people, I naturally want to just give advice, just where people are, right? I just want to help. I just love what because you know what we do, right? We live a very different type of lifestyle that's disciplined. That's it's very almost simple to the point where we create our environment. We take all the negative things and we push them out further away to make us more efficient at what we do, right?
Yeah.
So it's almost simple, and then that if I feel most people lived a more simpler life, they would achieve more of what they're trying to achieve because there's less distraction.
Yeah. There's a lot. Who said it? Matthew McConaughey. Too many options will make a villain of us all.
Oh yeah.
You know, so you need to just narrow down your focus and get rid of those distractions, and you can do a lot of good. But we super got off topic. This is only our fourth time to try to record this because we had some bloopers in the beginning. But the purpose of today's episode is Q&A, guys. So we take y'all's questions, whether you're in our Facebook communities or whether it's a question within the podcast itself. So again, like, subscribe, share, comment, all of those things is only going to help us grow and get better. But question number one we have is, how do you maintain mental toughness when you are not seeing results from all of your efforts? Jonathan, tell me how.
Yeah, you just keep going, because you have to believe what you're doing is the right thing. And if you keep going, eventually that thing would change. And if it doesn't, you just first have to ask yourself, are you actually following the plan that's going to achieve the results?
So some accountability.
Yeah. So because I would definitely seek accountability, because your perspective is sometimes, most likely 9 times out of 10, it's flawed to a degree. We all want to think that we're actually doing better than what we actually are. So 1, seek accountability. 2, keep going. I think that's where most people stop, is they're not seeing the result. But I would learn to practice delayed gratification, because it depends on how long you haven't been seeing results. Has it been 3 weeks? Has it been 4 weeks? What are you trying to achieve? What does that timeline actually look like? Because once again, most people want to lose 20, 30 pounds in like 3 months. And I'm like, yo, that's like 6 months to a year for me.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And so it's just, 1, I feel like, honestly, get the help, get the mentorship.
Yeah.
All right, who's achieved that? Let's ask them what the realistic timeline that looks like, so you can have a better perspective and a better frame what that actually takes. That would solve the problem right there.
Yeah. I was listening to Lane Norton, and he's like, man, I've been in the fitness and nutrition space for 20 years, but no one's heard my name until just 3 years ago. He was writing articles for bodybuilding.com, and he was doing all this other stuff, early on in his career, but no one really knew who he was till 3 years ago.
I knew he was a decade ago.
Well, that makes one of us, because I found him like 2 years ago, I think. And so so to your point, it's like, what is your goal and what's a realistic timeline, right? If it's like to make $1 million, keep going. Like, there is no timeline. You just got to go. If it's to lose 10 pounds, your timeline might be different. And to your point, find someone who's done it before you and see that journey. And I also think that to your point of accountability, we don't take into consideration, 1, our own discrepancies. So where are we trying to cheat the system? Where are we slacking off? Where a handful of almonds, like no big deal, but it's like, did you log it? Did you track it? But also, like, life is going to hit you, right? Like, life is going to come. So I could tell you, hey, perfect weight loss is 8 to 10 pounds per month, but we don't live a perfect life.
Yeah.
And so giving you the false expectations of you're going to lose 8 to 10 pounds a month is really hard to achieve. And if you do it once, it's going to be very hard to achieve 2 or 3 more times.
So I like how you said that, because right now I'm doing your program, right? Where my goal is to get straight, and you wanted more accountability. Just kind of, when I tell someone I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it. Right. And so I hired you as a coach, and saw progress, right? 2 months, lost 10 pounds. Awesome. That sounds about right. Right. And when you follow the plan, shit's going to fucking happen. Yeah. But then I lose my father. Took about a week and a half off the routine, just trying to figure things out, stop the routine. And as I get back into routine, my schedule I'm not feeling right with my schedule. I don't want to do the cardio that I'm supposed to be doing to help keep the weight loss going, because my heart is telling me that I need to spend more time in my business, because that's more of a priority. And doing cardio for me is about a minimum of an hour, right? Okay. So my runs are longer. Yeah. And so I need to now I need to now get with you. I was going to get with you and talk to you like, hey, we kind of need to switch some things up because I probably need to cut the calories because I don't want to spend that much time doing cardio because now I feel like shit because I'm not leaning towards taking care of business like I should be taking care of business. Or can I cut somewhere to take care of business so that way I can feel much better about what I'm doing? Because mental health.
And that's huge too. And we talk about that a lot, like with carbs. Everyone thinks carbs are the devil or whatever the case may be. And I used to be like, no, screw you. It's my way or the highway. Like eat the carbs, right? And now I gear more towards of what you just said is like, hey, I feel like I need to cut calories because I'm not being as active as I want to be. And that feeling is actually more important than the approach.
Yeah.
And so for a lot of our clients, and this episode was sponsored by Facts Over Fads, but it's like for a lot of our clients, like, man, what will make you feel the best? So if you feel good on a low carb plan, or if you feel good like when we cut calories or whatever the case may be, like let's do it. Is it going to increase your compliance? Is it going to increase your results? And is it going to increase your kind of mental fortitude towards your journey?
You just said it, increase compliance, right? So for example, me not wanting to do cardio, yes, I can keep forcing that upon myself and keep trying to willpower myself to do cardio, but willpower doesn't work. All right, I'm going to have to reorganize my day and restructure it because for some reason I'm not wanting to do cardio. I said, okay, why keep fighting that? And let's make a different adjustment that's going to be easier for my mind to actually do.
Yeah.
And at this point, let's go ahead and cut some calories, a couple hundred calories or whatever that you want to do. And that's going to be easier because my mind's a little bit lazier right now.
Yeah.
All right. And there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
But can we find a plan that better fits that? And the answer is, will it increase my adherence? 100%. Or do I keep mentally battling this cardio thing and me pushing it and fighting it and willpowering it?
Which is exhausting.
Because it's hard and I want to feel like I'm doing something hard. Or do I just find the easier path?
Yeah.
And sometimes there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. There's always do you want to work smarter or harder?
Yeah.
Right? Sometimes there's seasons in life where you need to work harder.
Yeah.
There's seasons in life where you need to work smarter. And there's seasons in life where you need to do fucking both.
Yeah.
Right? And I think, going back to like our episode a couple times ago, talking about like restructuring your day and your mindset around your goals, especially as like the new year comes up, it's like, I think you do need to grind if you're new to it. If you're like, you know what, I have a goal and I've never done something before, I think you just need to dive in the deep end and just go do some hard shit. And I think in doing so, you will, one, learn a lot about yourself, but two, I think you'll be proud of yourself if you just go do some hard shit and then look back and say, man, I did that.
Also, it's only hard because you're not good at it yet.
Yeah.
Right.
We just heard that.
Yeah.
Right?
It's only hard because you're not good at it yet, which is why you don't want to do it.
Right.
So the only way to get good at it is you just got to keep doing it. Right.
Yeah.
And you have to remember the different spectrums and levels to this. Right. We were just talking about my journey. My journey is not me doing hard. I've done it and I can continue to do it. But at this point, we're just looking for the most efficient route because right now my goals are shifting. Because I listened to this podcast with Alex Ramosi the other day, and he was talking about routine. I'm a routine guy, right? I got to take care of all my routine, my personal little 2 to 3 hour routine in the morning, and then I get to work. It energizes me. But right now, if I would just cut my morning routine out and just did business, then I can reward myself with routine later.
Okay.
So if I just flip-flop this, because my whole day, depending if I'm going to win or not, is did I work enough in my business and do the things that I don't want to do?
Gotcha.
Right? That's going to win my day, not me working out and doing any of that, because that's so automatic and autopilot. Why would I put that at the beginning?
Okay.
Right. So I'm constantly looking because your life will always change. Things would shift. People pass away, whatever the case may be. You get a new job. All right, cool. I'm in a different position. I'm in a different environment. It's time to me reshift and reorganize. What's my priority right now? Right now, it's business. So I think the very first 46 hours need to be all business. And then I can reward myself on the back end work and do my routine, my workout, all that kind of good jazz.
And I'm the opposite. So last night, today's Sunday, so last night was Saturday night. We have a group chat with all of our coaches. So there's 8 of us, or I think there's 8 of us in there now, 9 of us, I think. I'm messaging these people at like 11:30 p.m.
I saw your text. I had to wake up at 3.
I texted you too, right?
Yeah.
Bro, I was grinding last night. I was grinding, and it wasn't until someone was like, man, if you're a night owl, it might have been Alex or Mosi actually, who's like, if you're a night owl, just capitalize on that.
Yeah.
You know, wherever you perform your best, whatever gives you the most zen, the most like your flow state,
we talked about it on the podcast.
Yeah, put your most important stuff in that time frame.
Yeah.
And for me, it's at night. Like at night, man, I don't know what it is. It's not that I have any less distractions because people in my world are awake at 5 a.m., they're awake at 10 p.m., doesn't really matter. So like distractions are still there regardless. I just do better at night.
Yeah.
I can just go. So literally, I'm building someone's business right now through Unconquerable, and I did that. And then I did some stuff for Facts Over Fads, and then I did some stuff for Unconquerable, and then I'm messaging you about the podcast. Like I did like 4 or 5 things last night after 10 p.m.
Yeah.
And everyone, like all my coaches were like, go to bed. Go, like, fucking, what are you doing? And I'm like, no, I'm good.
Yeah. And we talked about like some of the reasons behind it. Why the difference you like to work at night might be geared towards, well, you don't have a significant other who kind of needs that requirement time, right?
Yeah.
So even though I wasn't initially a morning person, I had to force myself to become a morning person because my evening time was filled with family, chores, kids, dinner, baths, homework. That by the time I got finished with that, that's a full-time gig like itself. It's exhausting. So by the time 9 o'clock hits, you're just like, there's no room to do business for me because that takes a lot of energy out of me. So I had to figure out a way. If evening time didn't work, well, if you don't have time, you have to create time. So I had to create time in the morning. And then because my brain doesn't operate or learn quickly, I don't have that quick learning curve, which is why I wake up at 3 a.m. If my brain operated faster, then I would do 6 a.m. It's not like I want to wake up at 3 a.m.
Nobody
It's
wants
just
to wake
that
up.
my brain, and I know my learning curve is I learn a little bit slower.
Yeah.
All right. And so I'm not going to cry about it. No, I just have to wake up a little bit earlier to be able to keep up with most people who are smarter.
Yeah.
That's it.
Which is like the David Goggins mentality, right? Where he's like, I'm dumb. And he's like, to get me to learn something, I have to get spiral notebooks and I have to rewrite whatever the textbook says. And I have to rewrite page by page by page. I got to write it 3, 4, 5 times until I learn it. And he's like, if it takes you 30 minutes to learn something, it's going to take me 10 hours to learn something.
Why do you think I read so much? It's not because I want to fucking read.
Yeah.
Dude, it's just because I need that reiteration over and over again for it to fucking finally click. And they're like, oh, got it. Cool.
I read and I listen so much because that triggers me to I never, and we've talked about this before, I'll never read anything and I'll never listen to anything that won't help either myself or my business.
Yeah.
So in being very selective with what I spend my free time doing or my drive time doing or whatever the case may be, it will benefit either myself or my businesses. Yeah. And it's very directly correlated. And it brings me to, so going back to the original question of how do you maintain mental toughness when you're not seeing results? Inky Johnson says, can you be addicted to the process of what you're doing without being emotionally driven to the results?
Attached to the results,
right? And man, that is huge because, and I just put a video in Unconquerable, and it's like, you need to take the focus off of the thing. You need to take the focus off of the goal. And we've kind of talked about this too, because last time we talked about, you're going to hit a roadblock. Yeah. And those roadblocks are going to come, and it's going to make your end goal probably seem very far away. But if you just focus right here, right now, in the process, in the journey, and whatever life has thrown at you, like you'll do way better than
that's the goal.
Focus. This one thing is the goal.
So you had the end goal, but your obstacle now is the goal. Right. So that end goal isn't even the goal no more. Yeah. Don't even focus on it because this thing's staring at you in your face. This is the goal now. Mm-hmm.
And then going back to we talked about last time too, is like, I don't care if you're going in the wrong direction. Go 1,000 miles an hour in the wrong direction, because you will learn so much along the journey by just going all in. Yeah. Even if it's all in the wrong direction, you will then be able to pivot into the right direction and probably be way ahead of the game.
You wouldn't even know if it's the wrong direction without actually going in that direction.
Right. And so people are so afraid to make a decision. It's like, well, do I do this or do I do that? And they just panic and freeze and they don't do anything at all. And they wake up 10 years down the road and they're like, shit, I wish I would have attempted something.
And I've actually gone into that same mind frame with business. Is when I was looking to hire web designers and looking to hire copywriters, I was like, now you're here with all these options. shit, what if I make the wrong decision?
Yeah.
Well, for me, it was a bigger decision because I don't have that much capital to be playing with in the first place.
Yeah.
So like, damn, this is a big decision because this might be my last shot at getting this executed. Because if it wasn't, I don't have enough money to go and try it again.
Yeah, and so throughout this journey, as Facts Over Fads continues to grow, and we bring on more coaches and more coaches and more coaches, and everyone's like, man, you're being like really lenient with, you know, the payouts that we're giving to these coaches. And I'm like, well, one, I keep our business overhead very low. Like we have very little overhead. It doesn't cost me a lot of money to function. So there's that. But two, if something was to go wrong, like I have such strong people in my circle that when I'll never forget, you know, we used to be called Take Charge Nutrition and Fitness before we were Facts Over Fads.
Yeah.
And we were in a little lawsuit tiff because Take Charge was trademarked by a company in Tennessee. And I didn't know this. So I get all these nasty emails and letters in the mail that's like, we're suing you, we're suing you, we're suing you. And I'm panicking. I was new to business. I was new to just everything. And I reach out to a buddy of mine who's a business attorney. And this dude was so calm and so chill. I was like, oh, bro, this happens all the time.
Yeah.
Like, he's like, I got it. No worries. Like, you're fine. I'm like, oh, okay. Comes back to me, you know, a couple of weeks or maybe a month or two later. And he's like, you want to do it the hard way? You want to do things the easy way? I was like, I don't know. Tell me both. Yeah. And he's like, well, the hard way is, you know, we tell them to go fuck off and we can take this to battle and they'll never win, but it's going to be a long journey. And I'm like, okay, what's the easy way? He goes, the easy thing is like you change your name, we tell them to go fuck off anyway. It's ended tomorrow. And I'm like, oh. I'm like, well, let's just change the name. Like, he's like, okay, what do you want to call it? Facts Over Fast Nutrition. Cool. I actually let all of our clients pick the name. Yeah. We changed the name and the dude like couldn't say anything. Like, all right, fuck off. And so, but I remember going into that journey being so anxious and panicking. Like, what do I do? And I had like, my brain was going 1,000,000 miles an hour. So you hire an expert. Yeah. And so you hire someone who's done it before, and it brings a lot of peace, which is what I try to bring my clients. Like, let me bring peace to your journey by ensuring you that it's going to be okay. Yeah. We're going in the right direction. And we just need to find, like you said earlier, the easiest way to help you feel the best and see the best progress.
Absolutely, man. So yeah, to answer the question, hire an expert. Yeah. Make your whole life go a whole lot easier. They're going to tell you if you're seeing results or not, or you should pivot. Yeah. Question number 2, what we got?
Question number 2. The mentality behind every single workout having to crush you. You know, can we get rid of this mentality? Can we keep this mentality? And understanding, can the basics take you a long way? I'll tell you this. Your workouts aren't crushing you. I'll tell you that. Y'all don't fucking work hard. I'm sorry. I watch you work out. I watch most of y'all work out, and you're not working hard. You might think you're working hard, but you're not. I've been a personal trainer for a really long time, and I've crushed the souls of a lot of clients. And you in your fitness class next to 5 of your favorite friends gossiping, you're not working hard.
Huh. What was the question again?
The mentality behind every single workout having to crush you. Do they have to crush you? And then understanding that the basics can take you a long way.
Okay, so I'm the third. I don't want my workouts to crush me. I don't want a hard workout. But one, it all depends on your goals. But 2, if you have a workout that crushes you, you're not going to get a badge for you crushing the workout. Yeah. And as you get a little bit older, depending who's asking this question, listen, I want my body to feel good tomorrow. I want my body to feel good, because if your body's not feeling good, that affects your energy, and your energy affects your decision making and your ability to execute at a high level. Mm-hmm. I don't want to wake up tomorrow with my bad back. I don't want to wake up tomorrow with my knee hurting, right? Because that affects my day, and I'm trying to win my day. Every day is a championship day for me to go out and crush it. And if there's something that's going to interfere with that, like me crushing a workout, and now I'm so beat and exhausted that I can't function the rest of the day or function the next day, then I don't want nothing to do with that. Yeah. Like, I'm not trying to be the best at working out, unless that's your goal. If you're a CrossFitter, go fucking crush it and mental battle that thing, or do the Ironman. Like if that turns you on, cool. Or if you're getting paid to do it, cool. I always tell my clients, when they're trying to be so hardcore at this fitness game, and I'm like, are you doing this for money? Like, are you doing this for money? Because if so, then let's go optimal as fucking possible. Let's crush every single workout. Let's make sure you meal prep 20 different items and fucking have every meal ready and prepared. And let's make sure your discipline's at 100%. Yes, if you're in it for the money, you're competing, and this is your job, yes. Dude, this is not your job.
Yeah, I have two clients that can speak to this in opposite ends. One, Ernie, shout out to Ernie if you ever listen to this. He has that mentality, man. He's a monster. He's a beast, and he competes in many things. We've run half marathons together. We've run all types of Spartan races together. He does CG games. He competes in CG games. He's a finalist every single year. And his mentality is, I still have to wake up tomorrow and go to work. So I'm not going to kill myself. I'm not going to be a dad and be a spouse. I am not going to kill myself because this is like my happy place, right? Like my workouts are my happy place. I work out because I enjoy doing it. I'm not here to kill myself every single day. Now there are maybe certain situations where he starts to compete with someone there, someone in the workout. But even to that point, he's not going to compete to a point to where he's going to hurt himself, which is what I think a lot of people are probably thinking. We're talking about, oh, the workout has to crush you. You're thinking about going to a point to where you're going to get hurt. Yeah. And that's where I'm saying you're not working that hard. I don't think you will ever hurt yourself. You will hurt yourself because you made a silly mistake or because you were mentally tired more often than you hurt yourself because of what you did was actually physically hard.
Here's why I disagree that you shouldn't be trying to kill yourself, because I know for 100% fact that you're not working on recovery like you do your workout, so you will eventually get hurt. I know for a fact you're not disciplined to that degree. Most people aren't disciplined to that degree. And I tell my athletes all the time, if you want to work out hardcore and you want to be the absolute best and you want a high peak performance, then your recovery needs to be as peak performance as your actual performance. And if not, don't fucking try it. Don't. You're leading down a path of injury. And what I've seen in CG is people work really, really, really hard, push themselves really, really hard, and they end up just getting hurt all the freaking time because they only work hard at this one thing. And without doing the other thing, the peanut butter and jelly, you're gonna fucking, who wants to eat a peanut butter sandwich? It tastes like shit. Go have the jelly. Which is the recovery.
Speaking about sleep and recovery, there was a study and they surveyed I want to say 1 million people. It was a massive study. And the people who slept 4 hours compared to the people who slept 8 hours had a 236% higher chance of injuring themselves during the workout. 200, you sleep 4 hours, you sleep 8 hours, you are 236% more likely to get injured.
So if you get less rest, you increase your chances of injury. On top of your nutrition's like shit. Throw that on top. Because nutrition and sleep are big indicators of your recovery process. So most people aren't eating fucking right. Your weekend warriors aren't eating fucking right. Your weekend warriors aren't recovering right. So if you keep trying to win the badge of I did a hardcore workout and I'm hardcore, most people stop because hey, you jacked up your knee, you jacked up your back, you jacked your elbow, and now you can't be mobile for what you're trying to do in the first place, which was I'm just trying to be a better individual father. I'm trying to have more energy to play with my kids. Now you can't, motherfucker, because you hurt yourself.
Now the family. Now you're like a burden to the family.
Now you're a burden. Now you're a liability, dude. Because you want to win some hardcore badge that doesn't fucking exist.
Now the other end of that spectrum, because I have another client. And Lindsay, she's a CG Games finalist every single year. She's a podium every single year, and she's a High Rocks athlete. And I learned later on that she battled some mental stuff because her coach pretty much ghosted her. Her coach before me ghosted her. And so she reached out to me for help. We worked together. And a week before her High Rocks debut, she gets a massive toothache and has an infection in her root canal or something like that. Like can't chew, can't eat, can't do anything. A week away from her High Rocks debut. And the doctor gives her steroids. She comes to me with all the medication to give her, and I pretty much cipher through them and say, take this, don't take that, here's why, yada, yada, yada. And we get to the day of the competition, and I'm like, you have to go all out. Because if you don't win, if you don't get first place, you don't make it to Worlds. And Worlds is in France. So if you don't get first place in a high rocks competition in the United States, you don't get invited to go to France. So you have to get first. It's not a thing where you can get like second or third.
Okay.
And she's drugged up. She's in pain. And I'm like, sorry, go kill it.
Yeah.
Suck it up. Go kill yourself.
Yeah.
If this is your only goal, this is your thing that you are like, this is your moment.
Yeah.
We're going to Worlds. We're going to fucking France. And
You just said it. If that's their goal,
yeah,
and that's what they're shooting for and striving for, then yes. But most people's goal, even after the age of 30, isn't to go and compete at the highest level and be a gold medalist and win money and travel. And this is your thing, dude. No, you have a fucking career.
Yeah.
And you got a family to take care of.
Yeah.
And most likely you started because you're just trying to have more energy, feel better, have bigger self-esteem, higher self-esteem, have more confidence, and be the man that you're truly, aspiring to be, right?
Yep. Yeah. And so, I mean, again, there's probably 99% of our listeners are an everyday Joe or Jane.
That's fine, dude. That's how I treat my fitness.
Yeah. And sometimes, like, you can have a good workout because it's some of your favorite lifts, it's some of your favorite exercises, it's some of your favorite people, whatever the case may be. And that might tempt you to want to go a little bit harder. Or you might just have you just might have had some really good pre-workout. Like, I'm going to crush this workout. Great. But to your point,
risk reward.
Yeah.
Risk reward. What is my reward? What am I even striving for? Right? You always got to play that into the factor.
Yeah. And I go into, the second part of the question was the basics can take you a long way. My workouts, I've been working out since I was about 15, 14. I mean, I started in middle school, but I wouldn't call it.
Well, I win. I started working at 13.
Whatever. I mean, I started in middle school, but like
13.
I didn't care.
I cared.
I only worked out because my coaches made me work out.
I worked out for the girls.
I didn't care about the girls either. When I was in middle school, I dated like one of the hottest, most popular girls in middle school, so I didn't care. But I didn't start volunteering to work out until I was about 15. So that was 17 years ago. So 17 years down the road, my workout, we worked out together, are fucking basic. We do basic ass shit really, really well. And like, you will never see me, I always use this example, but you will never see me flipped upside down in a fucking Smith machine trying to treat the Smith machine as a fucking leg press.
Dude, once again, what is your goal? Yeah. All right, are you a fucking aspiring bodybuilder, or are you just trying to get in a great shape, look good? Dude, I've been doing the same workout for over a decade with some minor tweaks in there just for some interest. Right? I've added some running, added some things like that to keep me, changing my goals just a tad bit. But I've been doing the exact same thing. And to be honest with you, I haven't got any much stronger. In fact, I probably got less stronger than I was, but in my 20s. I'm
a little bit stronger now because I'm a lot fucking heavier. I'm not that much stronger, but I'm like 50 pounds heavier than I was like my whole life.
Yeah.
The correlation between how much weight I've gained and how much stronger I've gotten is not like not anything to brag about. Yeah. But I am stronger right now. And I used to be a huge volume guy. And you work with
I'm still
pretty
4 sets.
I know. But
15 to 20 fucking reps.
Yeah. That's all I used to do. Not until probably like 6 to 8 months ago did I really start tapping into like the 6 to 8 rep range of like heavy. And I think that's helped. And that's mostly not because I've been building muscle, but I think it's just because my nervous system is now getting stronger. Because I never I would never do less than like 12 to 15 reps.
I'm the opposite. In my 20s, power building, bodybuilding, powerlifting, my joints and my body was just aching. And every day I was just like a grump because my back was hurting, something was wrong. And so, after like 31, I took recovery to the highest level and started researching, deep diving, and understanding, I just want to look good and feel good.
Yeah.
Like, dude, I want to first of all, look good, but that's hard by itself, but did the work over a decade in my 20s and teens. And now, we talk about maintenance. It doesn't take much to maintain. And I just want to feel good. I want to jump. I want to move. I want to play. I want to twist. I want to put my socks on without worrying about pulling my back. Yeah. These are old people problems, but Americans take their bodies for granted.
Oh yeah.
Take their bodies for granted. Yeah. Like some people can't even bend over.
I know. It's sad. And I mean, kind of like off topic but doing the basics of like, it's crazy. If you think about physical therapy, you get injured, you go to physical therapy. When you go to physical therapy, all they make you do is the basics over and over and over and over. You got back pain, guess what you're gonna do? Fucking hip bridges, planks, squats, stretching. Like, it mind boggles me the stuff that we do to bring ourselves back to normal, we then forget about and think that we need to do something else to go somewhere to get a different result. And it drives me crazy.
So just kind of end it here. Once you start studying super successful people and understanding one basic theme from all of them is extraordinary people aren't extraordinary because they do anything special. They just do the ordinary extra, right? The basics, right? You talk about Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, or some elite athletes, Steph Curry, they all talk about, I just do the basics, dude. Like if you see me, I'm doing step one, pivot here, step two, dope pass to the chest, right? They just do the basics over and over and over and over and over again because they fucking work. Yeah. Just do them long enough. They're gonna work.
Yep.
Next question. What we got?
That's it.
Oh, those 3 questions. Awesome, man. Yeah, we're 34 minutes in.
Yep. Let's end it.
All right, guys. So, hey, like we said earlier, all you have to do is one thing for us, and that is to share the show. If you felt like, you got a good laugh or you learned something, spread the joy, right? We're just trying to impact as many lives as possible. And as always, don't work to keep up, work to separate. Peace.